Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please give a warm welcome to the hosts of the SWA Happy Hour, Dom and Chris.
Are kicking my ass in just 5 days till my rent is due. If this year's like those last years, I don't know what I'm gonna do. 2019 I was sailing along, the world's my oyster and I'm feeling strong. Comes the Wuhan flu. If this year's like those last years, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, way things are going from a bad to worse. My next Uber ride's gonna be in a hearse. That hot girl from Tinder turned out to be a prude. Well, I won't need these. Is it any wonder I got them New Year's blues? Guitar solo time. Oh yeah, play it, Dom. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Molino on piano. Seen the worst of it yet. The shit's getting crazy from here to Timbuktu. And that's a real place in Africa. The whole friggin' world has got them New Year's blues. Now if you're offended or if you feel dissed, please know I'm joking and I hope you ain't pissed. I laugh at life, it's how that I get through. And if we laugh together, won't have them New Year's blues. I think I need another drink.
Hello,
And I'm excited to tell you, I've got a special guest. I'm going to bring him up right now. You know him from The Line. You know him from Only the Lonely. And allegedly a string of unsolved liquor store robberies around Yonkers, New York. Everybody say hi to the co-host of this show, Dom Torregrossa.
What's up, motherfuckers?
How you doing, Broseph?
How you doing, Mr. Lane? It's good to see you, my friend. Hey, everybody. What's going on?
You've now made my day.
Oh, good. I'm glad I could do that for you.
It's great to see you, man.
You too. You too. I see how I tuned in. I'm like, this motherfucker's stealing my show. He's got his own shit playing.
No. Well, I mean,
it's a great song.
It was both of us, so that's why I played it. In hopes that it would summon you, and it worked its magic.
I was like, ha ha. I am being played somewhere.
That's right.
What is going on? Oh, good. We both went with, forget about the screen. Yeah, I can't set up my green screen right now.
Yeah, because
I can't lift my arm up high enough. Yeah.
Well, and I have it set up, but it was fuzzy on the one side because of the lighting, and I thought, you know what, just a plain green background, that'll be screw it. That's all we need.
So what is up, people in chat? It is really good to see all you people. Man, it's been rough. Yeah. It's been rough for over the last, I don't know, couple of weeks, a month, maybe even longer. Yeah. When was G-May's, when was Shinefest? That was the end of September, right? Or beginning of September?
Yeah, because I was off 2 weeks. I think it was the first week of September, second week of September.
Okay, yeah,
So it's been about a month.
I bowed out just before then, and it's been a fucking roller coaster. But
well, indeed. Well, do you want to say hi to everybody in the chat? And then
let's do a roll call, man. Let's
do
go through it.
Well,
I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay. But I figure I can't let you just stay here all alone. The whole point of the show is so we could hang out.
Exactly.
I tell you, last week was really good. You had a whole big panel. It was really good.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got Epiphonium is in the house.
Yeah,
man.
he pulled the tables and chairs down for us, set up the red solo cups. He was the first guy in the door. I'm so happy. Thank you, Evan. I appreciate you.
And there he is, Mr. Ron Ward, back to streaming. It was so good to see him.
It was great.
I tuned in into a little of your show today. I was having a little episode, so I couldn't stay too long, but it was great to see Ron back.
It was, and it's like he never left. He just
100%.
He was in the groove right away. Well,
man, and his stream was flooded. It was like over 30. I thought that was great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was awesome to have Ron back. And the real Justin Kirkpatrick.
Yeah.
Kirkpatrick, how are you doing?
And colorful energy.
Colorful energy. Hello,
I gotta say, Hippies, metal show. There was a lot of retreads on there, which, is fine. But Colorful Energy brought it with a new one. It killed. It was friggin' awesome. And again, she's known for her electronic stuff and everything.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But this was metal through and through, and it kicked ass.
Awesome.
Lord Sprite Protein. Always good
LSP.
to see
What's going on, dude?
Our C4 from California. Good to see Lord Spike.
Absolutely.
And Gordium, 85.
Gordium. What's going on there, Gordium?
You're right. 85. That is a cool bass. Gibson Victory Bass, 1982, baby.
Very cool. Mm-hmm.
And Conspiracy. And I'll be hanging out with Clay? Conspiracy tomorrow night.
Awesome.
I'll be driving the bus to all the premieres, including one of mine. I've actually got new music out.
Awesome. That's right. Yeah. The second version?
This is the finished one with Hugh. He did tracked his part and sent me a video. So Hugh is in it, and it's. I think people are gonna like it.
Awesome. I know they are.
I like that Dom and Dahmer.
It's pretty much it. Yep. Hoot, owl, holler. What is going on, my friend?
Hoot, owl, holler.
Thank you for coming, Kurt Kirkpatrick.
Yeah.
Kirkpatrick is here.
Yeah.
And who else we got here?
I saw somebody. Hey, Mike from Rhodey's Jam Cave is here. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, what is going on, Rhodey?
Yeah, they've been throwing up some singles,
they have.
And they've been awesome. It's just those guys are cool.
They're like the premier full band on YouTube.
Yeah. So they kick ass.
They need to capitalize on that shit more.
Yeah, exactly.
It's friggin' awesome.
Our good friend Michael Songs is here. Hello, Michael. Which
Michael
means
of
Maria is
Michael
not
Songs.
far
She's
behind
lurking
or
somewhere. Yep.
to the
And there's
side or in front.
Axinacho. What is going on, Axe and Michael? It is good to
Nacho,
see your
Nacho
names
Man.
coming across the street. Michael Songs checked in on me today. That was nice.
Yeah.
We were chatting for a little bit.
Good guy.
Brad Example, what
Good
is
to
going
see you,
on, my
Brad.
friend? Good to see you, Brad.
You know, and I got to say, Brad, at our age, it's good to be seen.
Yeah.
Just is.
Ain't that the tooth?
It certainly is, my friend.
Yeah.
Well,
And
cool. Did
we
miss
have
anybody
anyone else here? I'm scrolling. I'm going.
Well, I think we've said hi to everybody. If we missed anybody, our apologies,
that's it.
because
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
old and we've got our reading glasses on, but, you know.
Absolutely. And this new medication causes blurriness. So
Oh,
is that even you, Chris?
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, I think so. Feels like me. I had that last night because Chris spent too much time sitting at his desk working on his big event.
Yeah,
And so
I think
did not hike.
I'm going to
much.
make some PSAs about stepping away from your desk, Garrison.
Yeah, exactly. So
and show shots of me in the emergency room.
yeah, and I just didn't put in the mileage. So my wife and we work out at home every night right after work during the winter, and we said, you know what? Screw it. We're going to bump it up. We're going to start earlier this fall. So we've been doing it all week, and lost a little bit from last year. So yeah, I was definitely.
My wife and I were talking, and I got to say, without her, forget about it.
Yeah.
She is the glue, man. She's holding shit together. I haven't contributed a damn thing. I read with my kids. That's basically about as much as I can manage right now. But she's pretty awesome. But we were talking. We've been like, we need something for us to do, just us, you know.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to find something. So I finally turned to her. Of course, going through all this, I'm like, you know what? You were talking about it. Like, let's go take yoga together. So once I'm better, we're gonna do yoga.
Excellent. Well, because it builds a lot of strength and
Yeah, got to
flexibility.
do something. Yeah. Mhm.
No, I'm a fan of it. I incorporate a little bit of yoga in my routine, which of course is always fun to see a guy that's well over 200 pounds doing, cat position. But
Yeah. You know how rough it's been. As many appointments as I've had over the last couple of weeks. Every time being asked, "What's your exercise level?" None. Do you smoke? Yes. The only one I lied about was recreational drugs. No. No, sir.
No, not
sir.
that.
And
Not
then they
that.
just start prescribing them. So
Exactly.
I was cracking up about that today. So I'd say before September, before all this happened, in my medicine cabinet, I had Centrum over 50 vitamins and Advil. I have like 16 different prescriptions in my medicine cabinet today.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty, and I'm like, it's like, oh man, I guarantee my wife's going to get me like one of those little pill things. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Half of it's trying to find the right one.
Yeah, no, the right
this,
combo,
some this.
exactly.
And then I think they finally switched me where so today is the first day I haven't taken any kind of painkillers during the day. I just took I just took one just before I came on the show because why the hell not? So they finally they gave me medicine that's supposed to strictly deal with like nerve pain, and so far it seems like it could be working. So hopefully that's good. But that should all end.
Is it gabapentin? Or?
Gabapentin. That's it. Yeah.
No,
but
that's
she told me
a fairly common one because
Yeah.
people can't get addicted to it, and it's helpful
well, they
for a
said
lot
you
of
can
people.
get addicted to it, but
Oh, really?
it doesn't cause. It has pretty much the same effect, but it's not a narcotic.
Yeah, it's not
And,
an opioid. Exactly.
So you just don't want to fuck around with them too long.
Well, when my wife had shingles, and for those of you, shingles, okay,
Yeah,
miserable,
they use
right?
it for that.
My wife had it in her fucking eye, people.
Hmm.
Yeah, she was, the doc is like, how much morphine do you need? Prescribe morphine and
Hey, Steve-O.
the highest gabapentin, the Lyrica that you can
Right,
get.
okay.
And that was the only thing that even touched it. Yeah,
Right.
she, poor thing, was miserable. She
Yeah,
just-
mine's not too high. It's only like 100. But she told me, like, for the first week, take one a day. Because they said it has to kind of build up in your system.
Yeah.
So I took one yesterday. I was kind of fine. Today I took one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And once I took the afternoon, I started getting, like, really dizzy and spacey. But that's why they want you to, like, gradually build up. So I figure I'll just take two until I no longer feel a little spacey. And then the third, and then supposedly the third one, I can stop taking the
other one, yeah.
pain pill at night, and just they should take that with like a muscle relaxer so you can pass out.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't need it for too long. So like basically, I'm going for steroid injections on Monday morning,
Yeah.
where you lay in your stomach and they put dye through your nerves, and so they can pinpoint exactly what nerves are being affected, and the steroids are supposed to kill all the pain. But I already saw a surgeon, and I'm definitely getting surgery. So
Yeah.
I'm just not going to deal with it. And the way he made it sound, it's pretty easy. He said I have two really bad discs that are not going to get better. And he said,
Yeah.
so it's pushing against both my spinal cord, and it's got the nerve pinched. And he's like, the longer you go with it, the greater the chances that you can have nerve damage. That's doesn't
And that's
go
no
away.
bueno.
Yeah, and he did checks with my arm, and my left arm definitely weaker than my right arm right now. And where this whole time I've been having like tingles in my fingers, I still do, except my index finger is just numb. Like
Yeah,
not
that's
to the
not a
point.
good sign.
Yeah, not to the point where like I can't feel it, but I like like when your leg falls asleep, and then
Yes.
it's right before it just wakes back up. He said chances are after the surgery it will come back. He says, it may not, but he thinks it should, because it hasn't been that long, so.
Yeah. Well, and
Hopefully-
again, I'm glad you didn't wait, because had you waited, yeah, you'd be...
Well, you know what it is? When I was talking, I had to go first to the pain management people,
Right.
and basically they said, there's no cure for most if you have a herniated disc, normally they'll settle it back in, but yours ain't going back. It's gone. So if the pain management works, they would basically, for the rest of your life, you have to get injections when you need them. And I'm thinking like, okay, so you get a pain injection, the pain goes away. Obviously, I know me, I'm going to forget I'm even sick. Mm-hmm. And then one day, the pain's going to come back, and I'm not going to have painkillers and stuff anymore. I'm going to wind up in the emergency room. Then I'm going to have to schedule to go get the injection. So I guarantee there's going to be all these gaps. And I'm like, I don't want to do that forever, So
Right.
then, I liked the surgeon. He seemed like a pretty cool dude. He's like, I do like over 100 of these a year. It's nothing. And it's like
Okay.
an hour and a half. He said it's about an hour and a half. The one thing that's weird is you would think they don't do the surgery on your back. He said, because if they do it on your back, they have to go through muscle, and they have to go through everything to get to your spine.
Sure.
And basically the longest healing part is your muscles and stuff to heal, and your tendons from it. They're going to go right through my throat. He said, once you got through the throat, you can see everything. There's nothing blocking the way, and then they'll take out the bad disc, they'll put in titanium plates. He said most patients leave that day of the surgery. He's like, within a week, you should be back up and running. You can't go lifting things. You can't doing crazy things.
Right.
But he said, in about 6 weeks, you should be fully fully recovered from it. So,
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think about it, your neck, those muscles are huge back there because they're holding up your noggin, which weighs, between 12, 15 pounds, depending on, with my hair, maybe 25, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, it's got to have the muscle there. But, yeah, there's nothing here.
Yeah. And, well, that's the thing. Like, I'm looking at
Now,
myself
you told
on
him,
the camera
right?
now.
You told him you're a singer and, a musician to be careful of the vocal cords.
No, that's almost like saying, mess him up. So no, I didn't.
Okay.
Like he's gonna go okay, and that's that. So, like I think I was telling Michael Songs that luckily the problem's serious enough. I have not really considered. Oh no! What about guitar or what about this?
Yeah, well, I get it. I mean, priorities, but
But like I'm looking in the camera now, and everyone's probably used to me. My head has not been straight in months.
Yeah.
That it's all YouTube's fault actually, because if I wasn't trying to get my stupid hours, I would have went to the doctor a long time ago. As there's no coincidence, like 2 weeks after my channel got monetized, I was down, man. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Yeah, back surgery is a scary thing, but so is dealing with the pain all the time. Because it's been painful. There were like days I was groveling. I was because there's nothing you can do. You can't lean. There's no position you can get that is comfortable.
No, and I have friends who, I have friends who are like 6'5", 6'7", ridiculously tall, and they all have this in common. They're a lot of back issues, and they're miserable a lot of the times. And so, knock on wood, I'm not as big as them, and I just don't have those issues.
You're bigger in heart, Chris.
Yeah.
Spirit.
I'm not as tall as they are, and I'm glad for it at this point. Sometimes being a little stockier is not a bad thing.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I think it's gonna all be good. One thing I'm happy about. I live in New York, and we have really top notch doctors and stuff.
That's good.
I remember when I was having my cancer surgery, I was in a deep panic because the surgery I was getting was called basically a neo bladder, where they remove your bladder and they kind of make a new one and reattach everything to it.
Yeah.
And I was reading horror story after horror story after horror story, and I was like, I'm not going to do that one. I'm going for the safe bet, which was you have a little valve in your stomach, and when you have to relieve yourself, you have to kind of siphon it out. I was going to do that because I was like, "Hey," and I started talking with a bunch of different people. And one night, someone got a hold of me, and he was like, "Why wouldn't you want to give yourself the best possible outcome? Despite what everyone else says, why wouldn't you want the best?" And I was really thinking about that. And then he was like, "Let's look at the people that are telling you." And we were going through posts, and he started, okay, they're from India, that person's from Spain, and it was like, let's look at the doctor you're supposed to get. And actually, the doctor who gave me my surgery kind of invented the technique. He's one of the and
okay, yeah,
so
always good to get that guy.
Yeah, so the dude I spoke to, I don't know his name or anything. It was just one night, random for an hour, going because I was spazzing out in chat groups about cancer and stuff, and this dude just fucking reeled me in. The next day, I was like, "Let's go, let's do it, man, make me bionic." So.
See, that wasn't happenstance. You were there for a reason, and he was there for a reason.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
that's very cool. But yes, Epi made this point earlier. Old guys get together and my sphincter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you're not wrong. But
there we go. See, Michael's songs, Michael and Maria, they agree, so that's good. Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird at first, but when I thought about it,
makes total sense.
Yeah, total sense, because that's what's bugging me is all the muscles like just are contorted, you know.
Well, sure, because that pinch and everything, and of
Yeah.
course they tense up, and then you get the inflammation, and it's a bad cycle.
Yeah, well, that's was always been the worst when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, when I wake up, it's been brutal. Like this morning, I woke up, my neck was stiff, but it didn't hurt. Like, I mean, it hurt
good.
as much as having a stiff neck hurt. There were mornings where I woke up where I could not get out of bed. It hurt so bad. And there's nothing I can't find my glasses, like it's been brutal. And all I could do was just like sit there and wait through it,
Yeah, I got empathy. I talked. My father is 85, had his hip replaced on Monday. My brother is 59. He had his rotator cuff and his bicep surgically repaired yesterday. And I'm just trucking along, doing my thing, and I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm trying to take care of myself. Trying.
The funny thing about it was, I think Michael probably remembers. You probably remember. So I wound up going into the emergency room. I think it was on a Thursday morning. I quit smoking on Wednesday. So I went Wednesday. I didn't smoke. Wound up 5 a.m. in the morning. Woke up in just the worst fucking pain of my life in the emergency room. I pretty much slept all that day, and then I was at home. I've been at home since then. And the next day, I was like, fuck this. I'm smoking, man. Yeah. My wife was like, she gave me one look. I was like, please, June, please. She's like, all right. So I'll plan it again right before I go to the surgery. And
you'll want to do that because you recover a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I wanted to anyway.
Sure. Well, I get it. My wife has been. She had quit smoking for.
That should be a T-shirt.
No, it really should. I mean, it's perfect.
It says so much without saying anything at all. It's brilliant.
Hey, aloha, Tom. How are you, buddy? Yeah, it's funny.
What's going on, Tom Purcell?
But yeah, my wife had quit for almost 2 decades, and then her mother got sick with lung cancer because she was a chain smoker. So the stress of trying to take care of her, she started smoking again, quit again, and was quit up until about 6 months ago. And just her medical issues were stressing her. And so she's never was a heavy smoker. But yeah. And she's working on quitting again, but it's tough.
Cigarettes are, your long lost friend in a time like that.
Yeah, and I get it. And I'm so thankful I never started.
Yeah, and my thing was, it was just that I am going to be trapped in my house.
Hey, Zim.
What's going on, Zim? Without being able to I mean, I've caught up on every movie. I've had a Western week. I had a war movie week. Like, I've watched the Band of Brothers again. I watched the Pacific again. I've watched so many fucking movies and TV shows. It's like I have enough for another couple of years. But like in the beginning, I was stoned all day long. I was just like in a friggin' coma, just like in front of the TV, just making it from pill to pill to pill.
Yeah.
But
and here, Ron, never try and go cold turkey on this show because that's not healthy.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do. Yeah, I tried to quit. That's really what happened. I told Chris on Wednesday, I'm not doing this show anymore, and he gave me the whammo. Oh, Band of Brothers, really good. My mother's second husband. I love telling it that way. Was the guy she left my father for was actually one of them. So my mother went all around the world, like when that came to be. They went at all the movie premieres, and she has her pictures with Tom Hanks, and they went to Normandy and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting in that my late father-in-law, he didn't make it to the Band of Brothers stuff. He was in the Big Red One.
Okay.
And he got wounded in North Africa, and in Sicily and in Italy. And his last one, he got wounded in the foot. Of course, he was an infantryman, and he's like, "All right, well, that's 3 Purple Hearts for you,
Yeah.
and you get shot in the foot. We're sending
right.
you back." So he
Right.
got sent back, and he spent the rest of the war. He was a brilliant marksman. So he taught. Is it Fort Hood in Texas? Whichever is the
Yes,
big
Fort
army.
Hood's in Texas.
Yeah, he was at Fort Hood, and he taught marksmanship for the rest of the war.
Okay.
But yeah, he was in the Big Red One.
Okay, yeah. So my mother's husband, his name was Salvatore Bellino. He was in Easy Company, 101st Airborne, dropped on D-Day.
Yeah,
You know, I would have loved to talk to him,
yeah.
but unfortunately, he was my parents' next door neighbor. You know, so I don't have to go in too much details. My dad was a little pissed. But you know, I would have loved to talk to him about it, and I have actually. I'm in possession of, like, you can't see it, but on my wall I have a picture, a lithograph of all the guys standing in front of the plane. That's been signed by most of the original
Oh, very cool.
people and a lot of the actors, and I have all his medals and stuff.
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
Before my mother passed away, I promised upstate in Poughkeepsie or somewhere up north from me is the Purple Heart Museum, and I'm going to give it all to them.
No, that's
Just,
good. Yeah.
you know.
Well, we have Al's medals, and we have most of the letters that he sent to Mary Lou, his wife. You know, while he was overseas, and
Right.
yeah, it's good stuff to have.
What's going on, Chad Freeman?
And we have his diaries where he talked about some of this stuff. But yeah, he didn't talk about his war experience until fairly late in his
No,
life.
most didn't. Most
Those
didn't,
guys just
no.
didn't.
No,
So
most did
yeah.
not. Current topics.
So what? Oh, here's my little. You know, I had been taking the cat to the vet because he was just irpy, and finally just figured out he's just got a sensitive tummy, and so we've tried 53 cat foods, and he finally found one that he used to eat 2 years ago, and then he decided he didn't like it, and now he likes it again, and he's eating. He's not having any problems. Anyway, the vet is next door to a music go-round. I don't know if you have those. And I just thought it was like a recycled music place, you know, like the Play It Again Sports. Well, so I just went into this place because I was driving up that way. And I went in there, and I had gone to Guitar Center the day before, and Guitar Center sucked. And I go in this place, and they got more guitars than Guitar Center. And I'm like,
Really?
and this is like 2 miles from my house. And I went, shit, I'm going to be hanging out here a lot. And I just told the dudes, I said,
That's
guys.
dangerously cool.
Yeah, exactly. I said, looking for a hummingbird, looking for a firebird. And the guy said, I got a hummingbird that's not out yet. Come back next week. I was like, fuck. But he's also looking at the one guitar that I have, that custom telly that I have, it's a great guitar, but I don't love it, and I don't play it very often.
Yeah, I was never, they look beautiful. I was never telecast.
I like tellies, but this one just, I don't know. There's something about it, I just don't love it.
You know, I'm just not good with single coil guitars. Like, I have a Strat and I can't play it for shit. You really have to be a tone master to play a Strat because they have such a wide range, you know.
Yes.
The humbuckers are easy. Just turn everything up and play. That's all I do, you know.
Well, you know, that Ibanez that I picked up 2 years ago, that was the only humbucker guitar that I own.
Okay.
And my other one, I have a Strat and I have a telly, well, 2 tellies. Now, the one telly technically does have humbuckers because it's got coil taps and all that kind of stuff. But I'm too dumb to figure it out. You know, I'm pressing the buttons and trying to figure out what did what to who for $1 and all that. I like simple controls, and
Right, yeah.
Strats and tellies are simple, and again, Les Pauls or those kind of style guitars, they don't get simpler than that.
Right. No, 100%.
I love it. But yeah, this place was dangerous. I went in there. Now, of course, as you know, I'm picky as fuck, and I played 3 guitars, and I didn't like any of them. Played an Ovation that was shit.
I don't like Ovations. No.
I used to, but this one was crap.
Never liked them.
They had a Explorer, a black Explorer, which the price was right and everything. But it just wasn't a great guitar. Clearly, the neck was out of adjustment because it didn't play in tune, and it didn't turn me on. And then I played another acoustic, which I liked, but not enough to spend money on. So
I just bought a truss rod gauge and wrench. I'm gonna try to adjust my my Taylor. I should be able to do it. It's really, it's easy. But
yeah, exactly. No, it is. It's not hard. But
and I bought a bunch of different strings. And I'm so stupid that I've been playing with the I dropped it. I'm not picking it up with Elixir Nano Webs. No wave. And I just read the stupid box and it said bright sound, and I'm like, and that's what I'm complaining about my stupid guitar is like it's too bright on the Martin. They sound beautiful because the Martin's a very warm guitar to begin with.
Yeah, they need the brighter strings.
So
they really do to balance it.
But Taylors have such good projection, and and it's a totally different. It's a much more modern sounding instrument, and they like tingy, as all hell. So I just bought Martin Ronald Monels or the retro Monels they're called. It's like an old winding, I think.
Okay.
And they're supposed to have a very deep and warm sound. So I'm going to try it with those.
Yeah. Well, and see, now I loved Epiphones back in the day, but as I developed a little bit more of a belly as I got older,
exactly.
they're a lot harder to play. And this was one of those shallow ones, but
they're impossible to play sitting down, and chubby people. It just rolls on you.
Exactly. Yeah. Before you know it, you're playing a flat top. Exactly. Well, it's funny you say that because I subbed in way back in the day for a worship leader in an old church I was in. And, he would say, look, I'm going to be out of town. I need you to lead worship. Just use my Ovation.
Yeah.
And I'd use his Ovation. And it sounded great and everything. But I was fighting it the entire service because it was trying to roll on me. And it's like, son of a bitch.
They are good strings, Ron. And I don't even realize that the Nanos, they come in two different. There's the Nano Web. The coating on the strings are different on the two different ones. And one is bright and one is supposed to be warm. And I've always just been buying the bright ones. I really never read the package well. That's probably my problem.
Yeah, I said worse things in church, Ron. Trust me. But, the thing is, they always had to forgive me because it's in their contract.
Yeah.
So.
You had a contract with church?
Well, again, when you're in church, it's like you have to forgive everybody because
I guess, yeah.
Those are the rules.
Yeah.
So when I would screw up and say something that I shouldn't say,
I was looking at just today. I was looking at a Takamine 12-string. It's on sale at Guitar Center. Ooh, I said the word.
Yeah.
For like $349.
Really?
From $699. I'm like,
ooh, that's not a bad price.
Yeah, wasn't it? And then they had three different. They had a Guild that looked nice. Mm-hmm. The Guild was really beautiful. It was it kind of looked like a country guitar. It had the flowery kind of pickguard, and it was a sunburst.
Yeah.
It had electronics, but it wasn't a cutaway. And if you're playing a 12-string, you're really not going up that high.
You don't want to cut away on a 12-string.
That was nice. They had a Breedlove that looked nice, and this Takamine looked nice.
Yeah, I've played a couple of those Breedloves, and man, they got a good sound.
Yeah, they're good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah, I have probably my most expensive guitar is a 12-string. It's called a Westbury. I can't remember the nomenclature, but it's like a handmade acoustic. It was built in the 70s. Westbury was bought out by Marshall, and it looks like something from the Renaissance. It looks like a lair. It's really beautiful looking.
Interesting.
It's got the fattest neck I can barely get my hand around, and it's just in really bad shape. It's in a real crappy case. The case thing sucks. I keep I keep humidifiers in it, but it's really not playable, and I'm only holding it because I think the last time I saw one, it sells for in good shape like 3,500.
Yeah.
So
well, if you got a good luthier
I'm only
in the
holding
area.
it to eventually sell it.
Yeah.
So and I'm not like I'm going to play a 12 string all the time. If it hurt your fingers, it's either the strings or the neck. I mean, because
Yeah. Well, and again, I mean, you're an ex-bass player, Ron. I mean, that's why I play 12 string. It's easy for me because the calluses are kind of fall in the same places. So yeah, I love my 12 string, but it's a Yamaha that I bought in 1981. And I've had it all this time.
So what else been going on?
Just dealing with the residuals of my big conference and everything. I was up at the hotel today paying the final bill and all that
Any
kind of
rooms
stuff.
destroyed by your rowdy train crowd?
No, they are. And that's the thing. They were like, we loved
Maria.
having you guys. You were so cool, and we hope you come back and, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I washed it today, maybe. I don't know. Did I shower
Oh, I
today?
thought you said your name.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't even see his name.
No, the old lion's mane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have absolutely nothing of value to say.
Well,
All
that's
medical stuff. That's
not like our show ever had anything of particular value. But
Well, that is
we
true.
stopped this for
that
talking
is
for
true,
hours
yeah. Mhm.
and keeping people entertained for.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No,
Did
why?
you have a cattle prod? Oh wow.
Those are cool.
That's neat. Yeah, that's
Oh.
really cool.
Now, was that a 12, Kurt? Because 12 string Rickies
You know,
are
I would like to
awesome.
say this out now. Chris and I had talked about it before the show went down, or before I went down. Chris has been doing a wonderful job. We want you guys to send us pictures of your guitars, and we
Yes.
want to do a show, and here's Kurt Capacity, and we can all, I mean,
it's
it's
like-
guitar porn, and we can all
Exactly.
send in pictures of different guitars, and we'll do a whole show talking about our guitars. Who doesn't want to talk about guitars?
I mean, yeah, hello.
If you don't want to talk about guitar, get the hell out of this
You're
show
in the
right now,
wrong
please.
Place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we all love our guitars.
So let's do that. If you got a cool guitar, send me and Chris a picture of it.
Yeah. My email's
with
on
you and-
my
yeah.
page. Don's email's on his page. Yeah, email us pictures.
With what kind of guitar it is, what year it
Yeah,
is,
when
then
you bought it, it's Providence,
and then we'll bring it up on the show, and then we can even have you come on live with us if you want, and
talk
let's
about
hear
your guitar.
fabled stories of your guitar and stuff. I think that would be fun.
Absolutely.
That would be a hell of a lot of fun.
Because all my guitars have a story. When you bought them and what you played with them and just all that stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because, my victory bass is my second one. My first one got stolen. And
Right.
it just, they're hard to find. And it took me 10 years to get another one. And, it was the same year as my original, but it was the double pickup active electronic ones where my first one was a single.
Okay.
And I guess the rest of the story was I did eventually, I was working in a place at the printing plant, and there was a guy from New York, as a matter of fact.
Maybe I know him.
Yeah, I doubt it. But he looked a lot like you is what I'm...
Hey, we all look alike.
Yeah, exactly. It's a New York thing. But he was a guitar player and everything, and we'd talk guitars, just working everything. And one day he walks in and he goes, dude, remember that bass you told me about that was stolen at that time, I don't know, 15 years ago or something? He walks in and says, I think I found it. And as soon as I looked at the case, I went, son of a bitch, that's my guitar. And I was thrilled until he pulled it out and I played it, and I was crushed because whoever stole it and whoever they sold it to or whatever, they spent the time beating the shit and the life out of this guitar. There was nothing left of it that was it was crushing, you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like, look, I got a deal and I'll sell it back to you, no problem. And I said, I so appreciate you, man, but I don't want it. It's just, this is not the guitar that I had when it was stolen from me.
I'm lucky. I have every guitar I've ever had except the first three. The first one was like a half, a junior practice kind of guitar my parents got me. Me and my cousin Frankie were wrestling, and he threw me, and I landed on my guitar and broke it. Then, no, 4 guitars. Then I had, just your typical starter acoustic. I don't know what happened with that. I had a really beautiful Siegel, all mahogany acoustic. It was a great sounding guitar, and like the money Siegel cost at that time, and it's probably right when Siegel came out. The guitars all made by Canadian forested wood.
Right.
Bad case. I stored it in a crawl space, and man, the neck got so twisted it couldn't be fixed. And I never thought I could just replace the neck, but I tossed that. And I had a Hohner, yes, the microphone makers. I had a Hohner Les Paul copy, and I don't know what happened to that. Yeah, but I think I have every other guitar since I was 16.
Yeah, I have most. I mean, my first bass was a Fender P knockoff. I couldn't even tell you who made it. But it was a pretty good knockoff. The action wasn't great. And eventually I replaced the tuners and put DiMarzio pickups in it and routed it and did various things. And I made it pretty playable. But at some point, I don't know, drinking may have been involved, and we decided, David Letterman dropping things off the building. Remember when he used to do that in the show? That was a big thing. And so we fired it off the roof of our 6-story apartment one time just to see what would happen. And what would happen is the neck snaps off, and that's it. But I wish I still had my first bass, which was a Gibson EBO, and I think it would have had to have been built in 59, 60, or 61 because it had this slotted headstock. A medium scale bass, but it sounded great, and I wish I'd kept that one.
Like the real Justine said, I would probably get rid of just about every guitar if I had a Gibson SG. I love SGs.
SGs are cool. Yeah, that's on my hit list. And Epi's right. I mean, I love what I have. I've got a bunch of different. I'm not particularly brand loyal. A good guitar is a good guitar, and all the guitars that I own, they play well, they stay in tune, and they've got good pickups. Those are my requirements, and I don't give a shit what the headstock says.
Yeah, I may be a good deal. Maybe so I have a Gibson Les Paul standard, and a Fender American Professional Strat, and I would definitely trade them to get an SG because I don't love the Gibson. I mean, it's a great guitar. The Les Paul's a great guitar, but I'd rather play my Jackson Sweet Tone. Was phenomenal. I mean, I love playing that guitar. And I'm just no good with a Strat. I'm not a Strat player. It just sits. It's beautiful, but it just sits. But if I can get a not an Epiphone, it would have to be a Gibson SG. Not that there's anything bad with the Epiphone, but most of my guitars are big name guitars, so I'd want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
I would probably only keep my Jackson Sweet Tone in that, and then get rid of all the others. And I have, I have a soloist, neck through body Jackson soloist that, It's a shredding guitar.
Yeah.
I'm not a shredder. I mean, it's on. I played it on that video where me just doing a blues solo.
Right.
It's got like the flame maple top. It's fucking
Yeah, pretty guitar.
beautiful. But I don't really have need for it anymore. Take care, Ronnie boy.
See you, Ron.
Yep.
No, and I totally get that. And yeah, Michael's a T40. Now, if you'd had a T60, then you were a real man. Because that is the only bass I've ever played that's actually heavier than my Gibson. Those T60s were just giant chunks of lumber. But they were good basses, and those T40s, good bass. PV back in the day made some good stuff.
If I had to get a bass, I would want a Rickenbacker. I love Rickenbacker basses.
See, I'm funny in that way. I'm not a Ricky guy. Don't like the tone, and I don't like the neck. But other than that, they're cool.
I love the way they look. I don't even care how it sounds. I just think they're one of the most beautiful guitars I've ever seen.
Yeah. Now, see, I really like Rickenbacker guitars, but I don't care.
No, I don't like the guitars. I like the basses. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Well, it's probably from when I grew up. I mean, John Entwistle played one, Geddy Lee played one. You know, like everybody who was a bass player back then had played.
Yeah, well, you got to know, Entwistle played a lot of stuff. He played a lot of Gibsons too, and then he started having custom ones built.
Yeah.
The Elmbics,
right.
Later in his career were his favorites, but he played a Thunderbird for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Played a P bass too.
You know, and I actually like the Guild that Gene Simmons used to play. That was a nice looking bass.
Yeah.
Like around the first Alive album, whatever. I think that was a Guild, or maybe it was a Gibson. I'm not sure.
That one was actually a Gibson Ripper.
Okay.
Yeah, but the Guild, actually, their Guild bass looked pretty similar. So,
Right.
And then he had a deal with Kramer. That's who built his Axe basses.
Yeah, they were ridiculous.
Yeah, they were, but cool. You know, I mean, it was Kiss, so obviously it was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I mean, yeah.
Hello. Why wouldn't it be? Well, and I put that up there because when I was up at the music store there in Bozeman, and they've got so many guitars, like the best music store in the world that I've ever been in. And I lined up a couple SGs, and I played a couple Gibsons and a couple Epiphones. And one of the Gibsons was better than the two Epiphones, but the two Epiphones had it all over the Gibson SG.
Right.
It was like, so it's one of those things.
Now, see, I
always
could go in
look
there.
at Epiphones.
I could go in there and get the exact same feeling. Oh boy, the Epiphones play better. They're cheaper.
Yeah.
I would still get the Gibson because it's a Gibson SG. That's
See,
you know, it's. The brand isn't always the name on the guitar doesn't necessarily make it better, but sometimes just saying I have a Taylor guitar makes me feel good.
I get that,
So.
and I'm kind of that. I still view them as tools, and I just want to play the one that feels best to me.
Right.
And the guitar that I ended up buying there because I was looking at acoustics.
Now let me ask you this question: when you're talking about that, when you're looking at the best guitar for you,
Yeah.
do you only look at guitars in the price range you want to try? Because if so, then what you're saying really isn't valid because you're
Yeah.
not trying. I mean, have you ever tried a $3,000 acoustic?
Oh, absolutely.
Like
yeah.
Viv Sparrow just got a.
Yeah.
What she get, a 814? Oh, I
Well,
love
and
Viv
that's the
Sparrow.
thing. No, I play and then I look at the price tag. So yeah, I have the
Or
opposite.
a Martin D25 like Neil Young used to play.
Well,
That's
there was
only
a
that's
Taylor
like
that I picked up.
10 grand, you know.
Yeah, and it was one of those $2,500, $3,000
Yeah.
ones, and I played it. God, it was gorgeous, and I thought, and then I looked at the price and I went, "Well, I'm not good enough for this." Bluntly, this guitar's like, "Hey,
Well, I
can
do
you give me
believe
to
that-
somebody
yeah.
who can play?"
I do believe that your guitar should match your ability. Like I can't stand when like new players go buy like a really expensive guitar. Because number one, it's just not smart. It's like you like when I bought a bass. I am not a bass player. I bought a Mexican Jackson. It's like $400. It's good enough for what I need.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to go crazy over.
There's Huge. How are you, buddy?
What's going on? Huge Caldwell.
Yeah,
Yamahas do make nice guitars.
Well, that's it. Both my acoustics are Yamahas, and
Yamahas.
Yamahas.
You said Yamaha.
Yamaha.
Oh, keep your tongue in your mouth, please. It's a family show. You stupid bastard.
I'll give you my.
Oh, you're still doing it? That's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, Simmons got nothing on me.
I played my guitar today for like a half hour.
Yeah.
And it got rough.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I had to sit for a while after it.
Maybe little spurts. Maybe do 10 minutes
Yeah.
and just keep your calluses up, but
Yeah.
don't push it, man.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely my pushing it is.
Yeah.
my problem.
Plays guitar, smiles, looks at the price tag, cries a little. Yeah. That's about right.
I mean, they're all, there's decent ranges. Like
Yeah.
you can now buy a Taylor or a Martin that doesn't have 3 zeros after. They they have them just under 1,000. Mm-hmm. Not saying if you're gonna go like that, I wouldn't do. I wouldn't buy a Taylor, 100. Because at that, there's probably comparable guitars, lesser named guitars that probably play better than that,
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. And like I said, I just play a bunch of them and I say, okay, I like these the best. And then I start looking at the price. Mm-hmm. And again, it's not like I buy
like
a
I
lot
think
of guitars.
my Martin, that's like the cheapest Martin I could find. And I didn't buy it because it was a Martin. I bought it because I dreamt about it.
Yeah, see, that's what you need.
I had a dream and I killed 3 people with a guitar, and it was that guitar. And I walked in. Why I killed these people, that's a different story. But I El Kabonged them to death. The guitar never broke. So.
There you go.
And then I was in, I guess it was a Guitar Center, and I looked up and I was like, oh my God. That's the guitar, and I just bought it sight unseen. It's a good guitar. I mean, stripped down, 215, nothing fancy about it. I mean, sounds fantastic, plays wonderful. No, not a cutaway. No electronics. But what I heard was like, they have very good road guitars, and that became the Martin. I think. Michael Songs has the same guitar as me, but now it's called the Roadmaster series.
Yeah,
I think. No, so it's Maria's guitar. Oh, that's so nice of Maria to let Michael use her guitar like he uses your computer to live stream. That's why he's always talking so good about her.
Yeah, see, he's no dummy.
Well, that's Chris. Chris has never actually bought any of his guitars. Nope. His wife buys them all.
Yeah, she authorizes that's the Minister of Finance, and she authorizes the purchase. Mm-hmm. I give her the puppy dog eyes and go,
no,
this is a nice guitar, but
I have a different technique. I keep a soft shell case. I don't store guitars in it, but one day I'll be walking out the house with it over my shoulder. I'm just going to go get new strings on the guitar. And I buy a guitar and I put it in the case and I come back with it.
Yeah, see, there you go. It's clever. Hey, did everybody catch Rhett's new song?
I did not.
He put it out today and got a little help from Cold Acre.
Why don't we play it? Hey, what's going on, Rhett?
Yeah, I bet I have it up. Unless I close.
Oh, you have another guitar, Michael?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and find that.
Wait, what was? Oh, I just hit. Oh, I just hit it.
Yeah.
So you just got another one, Michael? Come on, talk, my man. What did you get?
So he did what I ended up doing when I bought that Yamaha. Is one that's an acoustic electric, so you can take it on the road, and that's I needed that. Hey, Pender, how are you?
What is it? What Martin did you get, Michael?
Yeah, come on, Dumpy.
Where I'm no one. I want no one to speak until he types in what he got. Can't just say the new one I got and believe it. That's rude.
Rude. Yeah. Okay, well, that's not helpful.
Well, yeah, it was played on Sunday. Oh, so sorry. Sorry, I'm in so much pain I couldn't make it through the live stream. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't make it either because I didn't get out of bed, or then I was doing something. And I went, oh, they're on their live stream, and I turned it on, and they were done. So I was like, oh, well, I suck. Yeah, me too, Kurt. All right, well, we're still waiting for...
Show cannot proceed.
Until, we find out exactly what it is.
But why don't you find Rhett's song?
Yeah, let me go find that. Because I probably closed that window because,
You're you.
Well, I actually close windows before doing this show because it has to be done. All right.
Bubblegum Blues?
Yeah, I do have it.
Is it Trident or Hubba Bubba?
No, it's called Sugar Shack. And I got that. All right. I'm going to fire it up right
Hey, Pendar.
Yeah,
what's going on, bro?
Because I dug this because I go to Rhett's, the Mix Club's, live streams whenever I can. Because, they're...
I think it's fascinating watching him do it, not understanding anything he does, and I'm like, man, I really need someone like that as my best friend. And
exactly. And I understand just enough to be dangerous, so I enjoy what he does. So I'm going to play this song and check out both the song, because it's a blues song, so it's Kill in that respect, and he used the AI to do the movie kind of like Ron's been doing. And I thought that shit was really cool because it was very effective in this one. All right, now window. Chrome tab. Now, I got to go to a different Chrome tab. This is a pain in the ass.
No pressure, Chris.
No, I got... Copy.
So, everyone.
And here we go. We're putting it in this window so we can actually open it. Because I've got multiple browsers over because I'm me.
Don't be like Clay and accidentally turn on pornography.
That's not going to be a problem. I've got probably 300 windows open and none of them are pornography. Unless you like...
having all those windows open really reduces your...
Well, that's what I said. That's why I shut it, smartass. So I could...
Then why are you still sorting through all these windows?
Well, because I had to go open...
I have two windows open. This show and GarageBand.
Because I closed the windows, smartass. That's why.
Oh.
Connection
I am
timed out.
sorry.
What the fuck?
See?
There we go.
Yes, you are, Pendar. My apologies. I think I said it was a generic bro or dude. Like,
yes. Okay, now
it would have been much nicer knowing that.
Yes. All right, here we go. Little Sugar Shack action from Rhett James, better known as the Mix Club.
We turn my sugar shaker mama. She's my sugar, my sugar, my sugar shaker mama. She's my sugar shaker mama. And that's what I like. Oh, come on, Colin, play me some blues, son. Oh yeah, now mix it like that. Bet you all wish you had a sugar shack. Meow.
Oh, that was excellent. You muted, Chrissy. That was fantastic.
Wasn't that
That
fun?
was really good.
I mean, it was
Really
just
good.
great. Yeah, loved it. Yeah, good
If-
stuff. I
if-
dug it.
I would have had a brother who snuck me into a blues club when I was young. I would have probably never got into metal and stuff. Because I don't get into the blues
Yeah.
until I was much older. Much older.
Yeah, now I'm a big fan. I always liked it, but yeah, that was just
There we go.
That was just fun. And how about that video? Right, that was that Kyber AI, and it was very cool.
A Koa. Mm.
Ah, there you go.
Oh, so it's got the does it have that new what's that new coating? Everyone says smells really good, the nitro or whatnot. Koa's nice wood.
Yeah, no, I like Koa. I had a Koa Ibanez bass and Explorer bass for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, Hugh knows.
Well, yeah, that's Hugh.
Who knows?
So I have not tried my new whiskey yet.
Oh, you haven't tried it? No. Well, you
No.
with it being on all
Yeah,
those painkillers. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually, you know, it's kind of funny. When I was a kid, I would try anything with anything, and on my own, I would try anything with anything. But when a doctor says take this pill every 6 hours, I won't take it at 5 hours and 50 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can't. They said I can't drink. I won't drink.
Yeah. No, and that's
But,
just smart
yeah.
because that has worked out poorly for a lot of dead rock
it's
guys.
true. There's been a lot of people in the news who mix things.
Yeah.
But it's the official Yellowstone Yellowstone whiskey. What was Buffalo Trace?
Buffalo Trace.
called,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you'll like that. That's
Yeah.
you and I were talking about. I think it's going to be fun.
My wife
And
got
I
it for my
should
birthday.
point out on Rhett's song, for you New York guys, he's not saying a crazy woman, Meshuggah. He's saying my sugar shack.
I know it's my sugar. Yeah.
Come on, it's a little Yiddish humor there for your neck of the woods.
You know, it's bad enough. I no longer have Columbus Day.
Yeah.
And now Meshuggah, that's not even, it's a Yiddish word.
Yeah, it's a Yiddish word. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
just-
But you hear a lot of that in New York is all I'm getting at.
Yes, I guess we do.
Yeah. So
Not in
there you go.
Yonkers. Yonkers is all Italians and Irish.
Yeah. No, exactly. Not in your neck, but
Working people.
working folk. Yeah, indeed.
And, and it damn sounds so good. Now, Rhett, did you do everything? Did you sing it?
Yeah, that's him singing.
You sang it. It sounded really good.
Yeah, no, I
A lot of
loved it.
character in his
Played
voice.
the bass
Excellent.
and all that. Now he's got.
Who played it? Did he play guitar too? Or
Yeah,
someone
he
else
played guitar, bass, and then Coldacre did some of the solo stuff.
Coldacre did the solos and stuff?
Yeah, some of the solos. No, but
Okay,
did some of the
phenomenal.
others.
It's really
Yeah.
good.
Right? No, that's cool.
Very impressed. And the
Yeah.
sound is phenomenal.
Well, yeah. I mean, duh, it's Red. Yeah, it was fun.
It's no fair.
No, I watched him do an episode where he was working on the bass for that song, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. God, I didn't know it at the time. He was just punching something in. It was like, oh, that's nice and bluesy, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. But, yeah, just, there you go. So, first half.
Really good. What's up, Mike Molino?
Mikey!
How you doing, Mike?
Good to see our bud. Yep. Another fella in the east there. But, so yeah, that was the one new thing that I saw this week, and I happened to click on it, and I thought, wow, this is fun. Now, I will say this, Rhett. That song is no Lawnmower Man. but it's a damn good song.
No, it's really good. It's really good. And so, and it's a happy blues.
Well, that's it. It's just
You
kind
don't-
of an
you don't
up
get too
tempo,
many very
upbeat.
up-tempo, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Just had everything going for it. Yeah, so Mike's just hanging out. That's cool.
He's. Did one of the new guys in Songwriters Anonymous, that new Joseph guy, is he on YouTube, or is it all his stuff on SoundCloud?
I think it's all on SoundCloud. I don't think he has any YouTube stuff.
He's out there.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Well, Austin, Texas. You know, remember, Austin, Texas, their motto is keep Austin weird. And they are exceeding their goals.
Yeah.
Austin is weird as fuck.
His music's really good. He made a song, and I started to like. Well, I mean, I've always liked him. He's very. I mean, he's very alternative, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of like.
It's a great word. For
kind of like what was that really wacky band that was like made Devo seem very normal? I can't even remember their name. But it's the very, very like new wavy, like art rock kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he made this whole song out of titles of every Beatles song, or a lot of Beatles songs. So the whole song, verses, choruses, are all titles of Beatles. Now, it wasn't Talking Heads. It was maybe the
B-52s?
Replacements. But the Replacements maybe before they went punk rock.
Oh,
I can't remember.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should ask him for permission to play his stuff, because
Yeah.
I could find it and play it, but yeah, I don't know how he feels about it.
Have you ever met anyone who made independent music and that ever said, "No, please don't play my music"?
Well, and I only say that because, as we know, some of his stuff is works in progress, because he works with that other guy and they kind of
Yeah.
pitch stuff back and forth. And I think some of the stuff on the SoundCloud is stuff that's his part and it's not finished yet. That's my caution.
Well, the stuff, we've heard, that's always the cool thing about. Hey, what's up, Devo? Always the cool thing about SWA, we're just hearing the songs before they
very
actually
cool.
become songs.
Yeah, exactly. Hear the
Like
bones.
Chris's new song
Yes,
that had a
the
different
SWA
title.
people.
that had a different title before I started bitching at him.
Well,
You
again,
can't
what
call it that.
SWA does, and I didn't get offended or butthurt or anything. It's like, Don's making a
Skinny
point here. I
Puppy,
got to
man.
think about it. What? He's right. It was an obvious title, but it
Yeah.
wasn't the right title. So we changed the title.
I really got up on a soapbox about that one.
Well, you owed me.
That's true.
Righteous man, I raked you over the coals on
Oh my
that one
God,
for
it
a
was
couple of
terrible.
them. Well, but
I think I may have cried.
yeah, I've made Dom cry, but don't kid yourself. Dom has made me cry.
Yeah.
I mean, mascara running and ugly crying.
The Dark Age. Yeah. Dark Ages. Whatever it was called.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
dark
was
age.
brutal on you.
Well, again, it's all
Had to be.
well. We got to where we wanted to go.
Oh my, you're saying it's so great. And I do personally give myself credit for, after you did that song, your vocals started to change. You did a lot more. Like, the best song I've heard you sing was the one with Laurie's Mishmash, the Ozzy song, Close My Eyes. You were phenomenal on
Well,
that.
I thank you. And that's the thing. You get to a point, it's like, okay, I did however many takes of that one to get it. Okay,
like over
stick
100.
with it, and get to, if you hear it in your head, keep working it until you actually put in the performance you want to put in. And I've kept that philosophy. This last song, there's that little bit of grittiness. There's some of the higher vocals and some of the harmonies that I've always done, but there's that grittiness.
Little Fry. That's that.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I was talking about. Is like,
Yeah.
I think you could sing this very well if you could sing it, not like you.
Yeah, a little nastier.
Yeah, because you have a very. I don't have a enemy in the world kind of voice when you sing. It's very, no matter, even if it's sad song, you just have a pleasant kind of sound to your voice.
I do not have very much vocal training, but the vocal training that I got was when I was early in college, and she was very good at technique, and she was training singers who were going to be singing for decades, and she was very, you do this, and then your voice will be clear and pure, and you won't have nodes and some of the other vocal problems you can have. And so she beat some good habits into me when I had no idea what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it served me well, because I'm 61 and I can actually sing higher than I could in my 20s.
Right. I've talked to him about that, Maria. He should put them up. Like, people want to hear them. Tell your friends, his partners, hey, I have a channel. I have a lot of friends. They want to hear it, and we should be able to listen to it. Same with Mike Molino.
Yeah, damn it. Yeah, Mike. No, because there's no
sound in space.
Yeah, there's no atmosphere. So
one of my favorite things about the remake of Battlestar Galactica, when they had their space fighting scenes, there was no added sound.
Yeah, that's again one of the. I mean, Star Wars is an epic and all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't sound like that.
It don't sound like that, no.
No, and when they're riding the space horses on top of a spaceship, I'm like, I'm out. This is just stupid.
Yeah, I remember. I used to go to. I'm such a sci-fi nerd. Where is Preston? I used to go to all the conventions, and I remember going to a Battlestar Galactic convention. Not for the original show, for the Ronald Moore version of it. And someone actually was like, they're asking, you get to talk to the actors and stuff and ask them all kinds of questions. And someone actually said, well, why do you have the lights in your space helmet? And he looks and he's like, so you can see our face. like it's a TV show, people.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Yeah, Mike.
It was hysterical.
A couple astronauts, just a couple asses.
Yeah, he just paused and turned and was like, so you can see our faces.
Yeah. Hey, Justin, thanks for stopping in. Be
Take
well,
care,
brother.
Justin.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, people that are like, that's not fun. Look, you got to cram all this story into an hour, bro. It's not going to follow real life in some ways.
Right.
That's why, if you go to a Broadway play, and you're the Pirates of Penzance, it's not a real pirate ship, right? It's a prop.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Das ist true.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, and I get it to a point, but if you're going to do stuff, I just feel like, hey, go ahead and share it, What the hell? And maybe not a lot of people will hear it or see it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't matter. It's the process of sharing that I think is...
Maybe next week we should, do like an hour and then go into an open mic. We haven't done one in a while. No,
we haven't. Yeah, we'll see how you're feeling next week. If you're feeling even a little bit better, yeah, we'll do that. I kind of...
Well, the good thing about an open mic, I don't necessarily have to be here.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can just go,
no,
hey, that was a good song.
I'm going to try to come as much as I can. Now that I have some sense about me, my arm's getting a little... starting to see me... When you see me moving in my chair a lot. It's not the most comfortable chair.
Yeah, that's fair.
We actually have an old recliner, like the kind they had in like the 50s, with the footrest.
Oh, yeah.
So not a nice one, but my dog has ripped it to shreds, like all the fake leathers off of it. And we were just about to throw it out. And this is like the only chair it's comfortable for me to sit in. And I've been sitting in it for hours and hours, time. Like, not yesterday, I think it was the day before yesterday, there's this new show on Netflix called Super Pumped, all about the guy who, the founder of Uber, and the whole story. And it was like a 7-hour a 7-part show, and I watched like the whole thing in one sitting. That's, I mean, it's rough.
Yeah, that's hardcore, man. I can't sit that long.
No, it's been very easy to sit.
Yeah, well.
Very easy to sit. Because that was the other thing. It's a little better now. It was hard to just keep my head up.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
Something, I needed always something to support my head. What's going on there, Charlie?
Charlie. See, and I don't know if you know, but Charlie was on a live stream with Clay and everything. His sound was working great on StreamYard. So, you know, if we do an open mic next week, Charlie, show up. Show up and play us some songs, brother.
Well, because we definitely have, you know, Charlie comes, Mike Molino comes,
yeah,
Michael Songs comes, and there's other people.
Yeah. You never know. Clay could show up. I might play. You never know.
Maybe I'll play one.
There you go. Yeah. No, Charlie. No, it sucked. Okay.
No, it wasn't bad, Charlie.
I didn't think so, Charlie, but, you know. What the
I
hell
still
do I
haven't
know?
played. I still haven't played my newest song. I have a new song, folks. Yes. I was going to play it on at Shinefest. Song me and Michael Songs wrote together. And, I went down for the count before I could actually play it for anyone.
Yeah. No, all of a sudden, some of the SWA guys got some stuff in the bag again, you know.
Yeah, you guys started working. Nolan's back, thank goodness. Papa Tom's putting out stuff. You're putting out stuff.
Yeah.
And Naya's going crazy with stuff.
Yeah, Naya's, I mean, she's like, well, I'm not doing anything in September.
Well, she said
October 1st, bam.
She said she was taking the summer off, so,
yeah.
You know.
And that's a good thing to do
you really
sometimes.
have to now.
And I took the summer off because I wanted to, but I did.
The one takeaway I'm getting from all this is when I do start coming back, I have to be a little bit more. It can't be the only thing I do. I was going a little crazy, I think.
Going a little hard, maybe?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, when you have to come home at lunch from work to take a nap because you didn't sleep that night, I got to stop doing that.
Yeah, that you might want to, rethink that. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. So I definitely want to do go back to my Tuesday thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm going to do it every week. I don't know if it's going to be 2 hours. It's not going to be 2 hours to start.
No,
but we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, I still love playing for everyone, and everyone still seems to like it. Yes, I had no balance, Mike Molino.
That's exactly it. Balance in life,
I had none.
Balance.
I tried to squeeze everything in between that, you know. Yeah, no, 100%. But, if you remember, as I was getting closer, I kept saying, I can't wait to hit it so I can stop doing it like crazy, because I knew I had a limited window to achieve the hours, and it was by September. I forget what the date. I had one period in the very beginning where I had a lot of hours from videos, and if I lost that, I would have had to make up another 300 hours or something. So I had this one little period with a lot of hours, then nothing. Then I started live streaming, and I had to make sure I got to whatever number, 3,000, whatever the amount of hours I had to do. It was right? It was 4,000 normally, but I had to get 3,000.
You had to get 3.
Yeah. So
because they had changed it up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Twice
you were
since I started, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I think twice since they went down on the amount of subs and that. Yeah. So I was playing through the pain because the last month before I stopped, I was hurting, man, when I was done. So
well, and just so you guys know, he didn't say jack shit to me until right before he ended up going to the ER, and he's like, "There's something wrong," and,
Yeah, so,
I appreciate tough guys. I mean, I do. I'm a tough guy. I've been around tough guys my whole life. But at some point, you got to be smart and go, I'm causing permanent damage here. I need to have this looked at, which you did. So
the thing about it sucked though, The only reason why, like, remember, I was like, I'm gonna knock off a couple of shows so I can be all right to play G-May's show.
Right.
That was my whole reason was I was really excited to play on G-May's show.
Yes.
I had new song I was gonna play for everyone. I had, so I knew I was having problems, so I was like, let me just take it easy. And I think I practiced too much one night and really started hurting.
Yeah.
Went the next day to the doctor, and it just, from the moment which is the whole reason I don't like going to the doctor. My wife tells me a different story, and hers is valid too. My thing is, like, you're not sick until you go to the doctor and they tell you something's wrong.
And confirm it.
And I'm always like, because look, every time that happens, she goes, yeah, you asshole. You went 6 months and you didn't tell me there was blood in your urine, so when you finally go to the doctor, you're like nearly dead. They tell you you had.
That's why men don't live as long, by the way.
Yeah, probably. So I guess her point is kind of valid. That
It is.
If you go when something's wrong, then it doesn't turn into a thing. But mine always turns into something because I go so long without doing it. But that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, well,
That's my story.
I gotcha. Well, I was in the same thing because I was slammed this summer and all that kind of stuff, and I was counting the minutes until I had finished that convention, and then I wasn't playing my guitar, and I had 4 days to practice and get ready for Shine Fest.
Right.
And I did it. I put the work in, and Shine Fest for me personally went fantastic. Showed up, and it just everything flowed, and it was a great experience. So glad I did it, and the only thing that sucked about it is that you weren't able to be there.
Yeah. No, it did. No, that greatly bothered me. I mean,
Well,
couldn't be helped.
yeah, you didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could do.
Yeah. No, I don't expect it to whirl with, but life is life, and there you go. Who was balled up on the floor because I went to the hospital? Oh.
Yeah, well, see, again,
I was balled up on the floor too.
Yeah, well, that's yeah.
I wasn't naked.
Yeah, well.
I was not naked. Because
story.
I couldn't actually get myself out of bed, and I felt terrible because it was 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, screaming. My kids come running in. Like, since then, I've been sleeping downstairs because I'm afraid for them to see me like that again. In case I've had a couple bad nights. That was by far the worst, probably because it took me by surprise. Sure. I think I've had other mornings where I woke up in as bad pain, but it wasn't new anymore. So, but yeah, the look on my kid's face every day, they come, Dad, how you feeling? How you feeling?
Yeah.
I
get that.
Yeah.
When I had cancer, my boys were older, but man, you never get over. I mean, I felt like a failure as a father because I had cancer, and look, even when your boys are older, like mine were, they were in, they were in high school or first year of college, maybe even with Christopher.
Okay.
But they have this. My dad is Superman and invincible,
right?
And, and especially being around me, I never get sick. I never, So it's like, oh yeah, I haven't had the flu in 20 years. Oh, but I do have cancer.
Yeah,
and
when I was kind of thinking, because I mean that's the way I thought of my dad and stuff too, and maybe it's better. Like when I had cancer, my kids were 1 and 3.
Yeah.
So thankfully, they don't even know about it. They don't even remember it. But my eldest son was affected by it. I remember the teacher calling. He's very distracted because me and my eldest son, we were like, inseparable up until that point.
Yeah.
But maybe it's better that they know we're fragile and fallible people, because I tell you one thing I gotta say, since this has all been going on, my kids come home every day. They've been doing work around the house. They're cleaning up the dog crap, emptying the dishwasher, helping put loads of washing, running out to get the bags. So they've been extremely helpful.
No, and I think it's good for them to see that. I mean, to your point, my oldest especially, he's a little low on the empathy quotient.
Right.
My youngest is good in that regard, but yeah, the oldest didn't really get that.
Yeah. Usually one is more than the other.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works. Well, I mean, you just do that. You're subjecting your family to stuff. That's where it is.
Yeah, well, that's it.
And not shit you can do about it.
Yeah.
It's not your fault, but you have a role in my book.
Yeah.
You have a role as a man and a father, and you take care of things. You take care of them when they're sick. You do this, and when the roles get reversed, there, even if it's for temporary, I think it's a little hard.
Yeah, well, the hardest on me was my wife and the kids went up and decorated the outside for Halloween. And I was like, oh, that really bugged me. But she did it nice. She did a really good job. Because that is one of my main functions. I throw out the garbage. I decorate the house. Those are my things. But they did really good. My kids, they did nothing. My wife fucking busted her ass, man. She was in pain after that. But,
yeah.
But now she knows.
Yeah, exactly.
Work.
We just make it look easy. That's. I feel ya.
I remember when we first moved to this house. I live in a split level, so it's not like super high.
Yeah.
But it was finally low enough that I can actually put lights on the house. And I got a ladder and went on top of the roof. And I've worked in construction most of my life. Mm-hmm. I've never actually done construction, but I've always managed construction. And I know the rules about ladders.
Yes.
3 rungs of a ladder need to extend out of a hole, Yes. Same as it needs to go over 3 rungs of,
Yeah.
And I went on the roof, and the ladder was not even a rung past the roof. And I got up there, and when I was done, I was like, oh, how am I going to get down? I could not get down. I sat on my roof. Luckily, I had my cigarettes with me.
Yeah.
I sat on my roof. They were out. So for probably like a half hour, 45 minutes, and I was like, well, you got to get down. You're either going to fall or you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And because when you have nothing to hold on to,
no, that's scary.
Yeah, it was really scary.
Yeah.
I'm not big with heights as it is. It was like, man up, boy, you got to get down.
Same boat. Well, yeah, that last summer, I was spending all my summer on the ladder doing my ceilings and everything. Right. And, going very slowly, very carefully, trying to be smart because, I'm not going to bounce good if I go off a ladder. So.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Secret Legacy, what's going on there, Warren Floyd?
Yep.
How are ya?
Harmonica Man.
Mm-hmm. Crazy things, us men. Definitely not the smartest species, but we all work good together. I think that's why we're the way we are.
Yeah, they'll have to be.
But they did really good outside. After she was all done, I was like, hon, it looks good. Looks pretty damn good.
That's good. Yeah. It's a funny thing, Rhett. I didn't know that I was afraid of heights until I was freshman in college because I started stage managing down there.
Hey, Steve.
And we had a band come in, and we had to go up in the gym lights in the cherry picker to do some gelling or anything. And so I'm riding up in the cherry picker and everything, and I get to the light, and I start working, and I look down, and I went, oh, fuck. Oh, I'm not okay with this. And, did what I had to do and got down and everything and, didn't freak out. But I mean, it just hit me that, oh shit, I really am afraid of heights. I didn't realize this. Now I'd flown in my dad's airplane and everything. That didn't bother me.
No.
And
because it wasn't up to you.
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
Right.
And you're enclosed to an extent, at least. And now I just, I just don't let myself freak out. But nothing's changed. I mean, I'm still afraid of heights, but I just don't let that fear control me.
Right. First we missed this. Happy birthday to your dad, 92.
That's pretty awesome, man.
That is amazing. I get my fear of heights from my father, and he explained it best to me, and it blew my mind. I was like, Dad, I forget where we were, but he was nervous, and I could see it, and I was like, Dad, it's okay, you're not going to fall. And he's like, you don't understand. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm not afraid I'm going to fall. I'm afraid I'm going to jump. I was like, huh? He said, it's so scary to me, like inside. He's afraid that what's the fastest way to make your fear of heights stop? To dive off, to end it, Not that he wanted to kill himself.
No,
but that
I understand that.
The feeling of just wanting to jump to make it end was so great that it made him very nervous.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, and it's just. Yeah. Yep.
Ladder safety.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Back in the day, you didn't do. I mean, I worked construction, put myself through college, and I was a framer. And you'd be up on the second floor, and you're walking on the, and it was weird because that didn't really bother me. It was just when I got, I don't know, just doing other things. It kind of, I realized that I wasn't okay with this.
Yeah,
like bridges and things, but. Anyway, yeah, and absolutely. Now, one of the coolest things I ever did was when we went to the Hoover Dam. You've got that bridge.
Oh, yeah.
And you can walk across and look at the dam. And I mean, it's hundreds of feet straight down. And my wife is afraid of heights, same as I am. We were both terrified, but there was no way we were not going to do it.
No,
so
exactly.
We walked out there and we leaned against the edge and we took pictures and we soaked up the experience, and it was cool and it was terrifying, but we dealt with our fears.
I had the same thing, yeah. It was I found the Hoover Dam to be more awe-inspiring than the actual Grand Canyon.
Oh, the Hoover Dam is amazing. Grand Canyon is cool as hell.
We fucking made this,
Yeah, exactly.
That's there. We made this,
5 fucking years they built that thing because they weren't filing environmental impact reports and blah blah blah. They just, oh hey, we need to build a dam. All right, let's do it, and they did it.
Talk about the Hoover Dam. So one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and I could watch them over and over again. Modern Marvels.
I love Modern
God,
Marvels.
I fucking love that show.
That show's the best.
Entertained and educated all at the same time. One of the best shows ever. And then they started getting stupid with, then they did the worst accidents, or it morphed. But when they used to do, 1 hour show about one thing, oh my God.
Yep.
I've watched them all so many times. Show. That is like the ultimate dad show.
It's totally. I'm all about it. Yeah. I love that show. And the other one that they're running here, like The Food That Built America.
Oh yeah, okay.
Those are fascinating to me. I mean, most of the people in the chat know I'm totally into cooking. Did competition cooking for a while. And so to find out about Hershey and how he built the company and Mars and just all of those, I just find it fascinating.
Yeah, I all those shows like that, but
yeah, they're cool.
I mean, there's nothing that came close to Modern Marvels. See, another fan. Michael Song's another fan.
Absolutely.
Damn it.
Well, I'm not used to you being here. God damn it.
You used to do it. All right, you click. All right, you be the clicker.
Yeah, Dom and I are canceling each other out.
It just shows on how well we're connected.
It totally is.
We both know what to do. We just always do it, and it cancels
at
each
the same
other
time. Well, here I noticed this comment, and you can relate to this, Dom, because you were having to deal with the MRIs.
That didn't bug me too much.
Yeah, well, you couldn't do it though because you were in so much pain. And
I
not comfortable.
That's probably another problem I have with going to doctors is I lose my ability to speak for myself. So the first MRI, I had to lay on my back, and I was like, I can't really lay on my back. The pain's too bad. And yet I tried, and they wound up shutting the machine down. My feet were like going like that, and I was in the thing, and even when I had to do the stand up, which is really a sit down MRI, that was torturous too, because they had to immobilize my head, so they put like kind of like when you get electrocuted, like a collar around my head to keep it in position, but I don't I can't keep my head straight, and it felt like I was like, here's my head, and my spine was going that way, and I literally felt like it was going to poke through my neck. It was brutal.
Not good.
But
yeah, I've got one of my buddies is from Swampscott, and he's a competition cook, and his Dave Frary has won a bunch of barbecue contests in that area. So I don't know that he's a weed guy, but he's a hell of a good barbecue cook.
In 2010, I went to Tennessee to a Americana music festival called Jammin' at Hippie Jack's, and camped along the Cumberland River and old barn, and it was like this farm set up, and it was all Americana music.
Cool.
And there was I don't know the name of them, but it was a competition class barbecue team that did the food service.
Ooh, yeah.
And man, I was eating like pulled pork for breakfast, and like I had a rack of ribs like
Hell
every
yeah.
friggin' night, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing. That's actually when I was like, no more sauce on my ribs. I just want dry rub ribs.
Yeah.
Don't sauce.
No, the sauce
kills
is a
them.
nice, if you're a
Dip it in
competition
it
cook,
if you want,
you
yeah.
gotta have a nice sauce, but
Yeah.
you don't want to put it on. That's the eater's choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, totally
Ever
agree
since-
with that. And that's why I haven't done, because I won some of these things, and then the last two contests I was in, I changed my rub a little bit, I changed my sauce a little bit, and I got smoked. I mean, and not in a good way. I'm like looking at my scores and going, oh, God, I thought the judges were making suggestions in the earlier ones, and I changed to that, and they hated it. It killed me.
I don't actually make my own rub for ribs. I get it from what's the Gates Barbecue?
Oh, yeah.
in-
Yeah,
was it
I've been to that place in
Mississippi
Kansas
or-
City, yeah.
Kansas City, yeah.
Yeah,
I use theirs. It's phenomenal.
it's a good sauce. I like it. It's a little,
No, I don't use I use the rub.
yeah, and it's funny
love it.
because some of those Kansas City places have amazing reputations, like Arthur's, and you go in there, and it's just not that great.
Oh, you have one of those Blackstone flat tops? Is that
Yeah,
what he's
those
talking about?
Blackstones are pretty bitchin'.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, see, Epi gets it. Sauce on the side.
Yeah, definitely sauce on the side. One cool thing I make, it's called triple play barbecue chicken. And it's rubbed, and indirect cook it, and then you smoke it, then
Right.
and then the sauce for it. It's like so amazing, and it's like good picnic chicken. So
Yeah.
you make a lot of it, and you don't even have to eat it, and then you just pull it out of the refrigerator cold, or take it with. Oh, it's so damn good.
Yeah,
It's really
I love
good.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, my sauce play is actually because I've done all the regional barbecues, and my sauce is actually a little bit of a combination of Kansas City and Texas and Carolinas. So there's
Okay.
a little more mustard in there. There's a little more vinegar, but it's still got the sweet and the tomato base.
Yeah. Okay.
Most
Yeah, they're
people like
they're
my
so
sauce.
different.
Yeah.
They're so different all over. And I would just like to point out, we have gone 1 hour and 47 minutes before it became a discussion about food. That may be our longest.
there's no question that we have now set an official Dom and Chris happy hour show record.
Before
1
we
hour
go
and 47 before we
Yep.
got into food.
It's just, it's
Oh, yeah.
it's a sad thing when you get to a point in your life that is one of your few joys, but it's not a bad joy to have.
Well, you remember the old Dangerfield routine? He goes, sex is nothing anymore at my age. Food has replaced sex completely. As a matter of fact, I had a mirror put in over my kitchen table. Good bit. Anyway, Rodney was the king. I love Dangerfield.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Epi. One of the reasons I wasn't coming on the show a lot was because that's all I have to talk about. Like, my whole world existed around it. So
Yeah.
I want to.
And yeah, when you're in that kind of pain and everything and don't have answers.
Yeah.
Familiar. Hey, Jay Nola.
What's
How
going
are
on, Jim Nola? That is the original. He's one of my oldest friends
you? Yeah.
from Long Island. He was the bass player in our band.
So he's cool,
Steel.
obviously. Yeah. Mm-hmm. if he's the bass guy, we know
He's
he's
a
cool.
Heinz-Steckula warrior.
And he's
We used to-
blonde,
Yep. We
big
used to-
blonde bass player. I like this guy.
We used to get stoned in the woods and beat each other up with sticks,
Yeah.
with clubs. Ah, good old days, boy.
Ooh, I get no respect, no respect at all. You kidding me? Yeah. I gave my kid a BB gun. He gave me a T-shirt with a bullseye. Anyway,
All right, calm down there, Chris.
I love Rodney.
He was funny. He was very
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. Did you ever go to his club in the city?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wasn't there.
yeah. Yeah, he was there a lot, but he wasn't always there.
My wife and I, for like 10 years, we got a lot of like the comedians as they were coming up.
Yeah. Well, that was the big, absolutely. There was an old comedy guy, a guy named George McKelvey, and he wasn't a big national name, but he toured a lot. He had a comedy club here, and he was really big on grooming new people. And I got to see Roseanne Barr
Okay.
before nobody had ever heard of her, and she
Right.
was living in Denver here at the time. And she comes up with this, I'm a housewife, I don't go anywhere and do anything, and she was killing it.
Yeah,
And
no,
then, of course-
that whole thing was hysterical. One of her best lines, and I don't like the show, but I mean, I guess you don't have many options, so I watched it. Was one of her daughters is telling her about something, and she's just like, "Why do I have to be the only parent in this world where their kids actually tell the truth?" I was like, I was so hysterical.
Yeah, no, she was quite funny back then. Yeah, that was. But they would bring a bunch of these young guys that come through that later blew up, like Bill Barr and
Yeah, Bill Burr.
yeah,
Bill Burr, you mean?
yeah, Burr, not Barr.
I find him hysterical.
Yeah, no, he's a funny guy.
I find him to
he's-
be hysterical. Except, I mean, problem with him is he could do everything just about sports. He's a big sports dude.
Yeah.
So, like, if you go see him live and people start throwing sports stuff, the show can just, and then he
Yeah,
kind
and
of
it's like-
loses me.
Yeah,
But I love all his curmudgeonly ways.
yeah. No,
One of the best we saw, John Mulaney, just fucking hysterical.
Mulaney's a funny
we
guy.
saw John Mulaney at Radio City Music Hall. Oh my God, never laughed so much. We saw Seinfeld when he did a residency at the Beacon Theater, and I was actually surprised. He did like the whole beginning skit on the ritual of people our age driving to the city to go to a show, and it was just hysterical because basically every single thing he talked about happened. Like me, my wife, my sister, and her husband all went together, and it all happened like exactly the way he talked about. It was hysterical.
Yeah, early on, Steinfeld was pretty funny.
Wow. Woof woof, dog paw, and your LSD ways.
Yep, see? You broke up the band, you jerk.
Or maybe he sold it to her right before they made Rumors.
Maybe. maybe they owe him some royalties.
Oh, that's what I watched a lot of this week. Every I think it's on Amazon, or it's probably on the classic rock review.
Yeah.
Like an hour show about like one particular album. They done like Number of the Beast was one.
Okay, cool.
Rumors. I mean, I watched a whole shitload of them.
It's funny you should mention Josh Blue because he's a Denver guy, and I saw him at the Comedy Works here. Again, he was on an open mic night, and I used to like going to the open mic nights. And right away, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's hilarious. He was doing a bit where, of course, those of you who don't know, Josh Blue has cerebral palsy. So, his arm is like this. And, he's doing this bit that, I came home and I was drunk and my mom busted me. And I said, how did you know I was drunk? And she said, because you got your key in the door right away. Totally makes fun of himself.
Yeah, I don't know him. I was not a big George Carlin fan, Warren.
Yeah, I mean, kind of in the same boat.
He was, it's, to me, it draws the line, like, recapping life is one thing, but I just felt like he was just lecturing me.
Yeah, there was a lot of scold in his comedy, which I wasn't a big fan of. And a lot of comedians get to be characters of themselves at some point. Carlin definitely fell into that camp for me. And there's been others that, is like, you were once funny. Christopher Titus comes to mind. I thought Christopher Titus was very funny at once upon a time, but now I'm like, you're a comedian, right? You remember that?
Yeah. And I've always found comedians, if you can be funny without cursing, it's like the best kind of funny. Like, not that cursing's bad, but I think it's harder to be funny.
It's lazy.
It kind of is. Yeah.
Well, then it's funny you should mention that because there's an outfit in Provo, Utah, and the Mormons, they don't drink, and it's called Dry Bar Comedy. Well, it literally is a dry bar, and they have a requirement: you got to work clean there. There's no alcohol in the club, and you got to work clean.
Ooh.
And like, I saw a special. Josh Blue was playing there. And Josh Blue can be pretty blue. And I thought, how's this going to work? And he was amazing. He was great. He was actually almost a little better in that venue. And I've really started watching it. There is a channel that they have on late night TV, and depending on your cable or whatever. And you watch these comedians and you can tell how good they really are because they have to work clean. They can't rely on, throwing out naughty words to get a laugh. And so I've really started to follow that just to see who's really good at their craft versus like, Amy Schumer. She's a lazy, sloppy comedian. If she didn't say all the bad, lady words, she's got nothing.
She was very funny for what she was prior to her success and her marriage and her baby. She was hysterical. We saw her and I was dying. She was very funny. Now, like who funny now? Nate Bargatze. He's really funny. This dude from Tennessee. Very, very plain, but
I don't know that name.
So good. He tickles my fancy.
Okay.
And who is that?
They certainly can be. I lived in Utah for 7 years, so yeah, I get it.
I can't remember his name. He's got a weird name. I don't know. I'm not going to try.
Yeah.
Bypass.
Charlie's
Red
not
Skeleton
right.
was hysterical.
Old school comedians.
Don Rickles, friggin' hysterical.
Rickles, the best. I mean, him and Dangerfield for me are just the kings.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Carson too. Although, it was interesting because Carson was really a funny guy. In real life, Carson was really he was a dark, nasty man. He had issues. But he was funny.
Hey, what's going on, Paul Vault? Daniel Tosh, he's too young for me. Like, I don't think on things. I mean, he is funny.
Tosh is good, but
in a way, but he's not really. I think he's living in a different world than I live in. So it's not relevant to me.
Yeah, he's younger.
He makes me feel old.
yeah, culturally literate, and so yeah, my kids think he's pretty funny. Yeah,
I mean, I used to love his show.
yeah,
His stand-up, I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
yeah. I feel ya. Who else? See, we've talked about food, we've talked about comedians, but yeah, I'm a big comedy guy. I like it. I probably watch as much of that as any actual TV. Except for when Comedy Central started to do the roasts, I was the Dean Martin roast. I used to love the Dean Martin roasts. And then Comedy Central started to do it. It was okay. And then, I mean, they ruined roasting for me. Comedy Central yeah.
I'm sorry you don't feel well, El Polvo. I hope you feel better.
Yeah, what's going on, brother? Well, you don't have to tell us what's going on, but yeah, I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
Yeah, I own the sickness this evening.
Yeah, that's right. Don't work his side of the street, Pole Vault.
Oh God,
he sucked up all the
Gallagher. He was never a comedian. He was a
prop comic, which
Carrot Top.
Yeah, Carrot Top was funny for about
although
30 seconds.
I have seen Gallagher, and it's a great live show.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Gallagher is, when he's not smashing watermelons, he's got some jokes that are pretty good. But
and who was that guy from Full House? Bob Saget. He was really funny.
Saget was funny. Yeah, he was. Yeah, exactly. He said this before. Yeah, well, that's the thing. And McMahon was the nice one of the two. I mean, Johnny was a much bigger asshole even than McMahon, which is saying something, because Eddie was...
I'll be back in a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
No worries. He's going to go take care of his business. But, yeah. What I wanted to... Yeah. No, I wonder what... I haven't seen Gallagher for a while, and he's all right. And then the blue-collar comedy tour guys. You had Foxworthy, he was funny. He's always been funny. Larry the Cable Guy used to come, because he literally did live in Nebraska, and he would come on the radio shows here in Denver and do bits, as he was... That's how he developed the Larry the Cable Guy routine. He was a comedian, and he was okay, but he developed this act, this Larry the Cable Guy, and he would come on the radio stations here in Denver and was pretty funny. And then he started getting bookings to do his act in comedy clubs and everything, and kind of went from there. And Foxworthy hooked up with him, and then you had Ron White and Ingvald, who's also pretty funny. He was on the Tim Allen show. Not Tool Time, but the other one. He was on there for a while. He played a reverend, and he's a funny guy. You might be a redneck. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly it. So that's our comedy. Who else? Anybody else have any favorite comedian? Oh, how the hell did we not mention this guy? Dave Chappelle is a freaking genius. He is fantastic. Just drop the mic. Dave Chappelle is, because he represents what most comedians aren't right now, which is fearless. He has zero fucks about being politically correct or anything. He's going to say what he's going to say because it's funny, and he's not going to worry if somebody gets their feelings hurt or somebody got offended. Dave Chappelle, I mean, if Lenny Bruce would be alive, Dave Chappelle would without a doubt be Lenny Bruce's favorite comedian. Like, no question. Yeah, thank you, Pole Vault. You're exactly right. Chappelle is friggin' amazing. Yeah, South Park. And speaking of which, those two guys, I mean, South Park, pretty amazing. Big fan of the South Park guys. Well, I don't agree with you, Epiphonium. Rickles, yes, I agree. Chappelle, no, I think he's awesome. And yeah, Norm Macdonald was, because the thing about Norm, back I was bagging on the comedy roast. He would go on there and read the paper or something. And he was so committed to doing this character that he was doing. McDonald was fearless as hell, too. I was a big fan of his. So, yeah, Norm was good. Miss old Norm. You know, and the Saturday Night Live alumni, I mean, some of them were great. Some of them, you know, I mean, Belushi was funny as hell, but he was just, you know, basically an idiot, killed himself. Chris Farley was hilarious, but also fuck Chris Farley, you know. Just, he was so self-destructive, and I couldn't understand his vibe in that respect. So, anyway.
Did you watch the documentary on Belushi?
Yeah.
Like the whole time is he had issues with Dan Aykroyd because he thought he should have been the favorite the first year and he wasn't.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. See, Aykroyd was a lot more professional in a lot of ways than.
No, I'm sorry. I'm Chevy Chase. I meant.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Well, and Chevy Chase is kind of hit and miss for me too. But Aykroyd, I mean, look at that career that guy's had. He's been funny for 50 years. And, you know, you still see him pop up in a movie, and of course he's big and heavy anymore.
Bill
but
Murray,
he's still funny.
Too. Yeah, Bill Murray too.
Yeah, Bill Murray. Well, you know, look, Brian Doyle Murphy, some of his brothers are funny. You know, the whole Murray family, pretty funny.
Oh yeah, Pryor. Well, it wasn't as crazy about Pryor. Eddie Murphy, Raw, was probably one of the funniest things I ever saw.
I would give, and I agree, but I would give Pryor the edge because, again, he was a pioneer. He did it first.
Yes, 100%, but it's only because he really wasn't talking about things that were relevant at my time in life, you know. I was too young to really enjoy him.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm, you know, Pryor wrote a lot of Blazing Saddles with Mel Brooks, and, you know, classic movie of all the time.
Yeah.
There you go.
Norm Macdonald was hysterical.
Yeah.
Stephen Wright, friggin' hysterical.
Oh my God, Stephen Wright. Man, again, there's a guy who's committed to his character, and the guy's funny and smart. I'm a big fan of Stephen Wright.
Well, he's definitely a cerebral comic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
If you don't listen close, you don't know what the joke was. Like this one, I woke up this morning and blah 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 blah. Oh wait, that wasn't me, and that's
exactly.
the end, you know. And if you're not, you know, because nothing he said was funny, but if you caught that last line, it's so hysterical.
Yeah, and his delivery was so deadpan.
So deadpan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good. Red Fox was very good. Now again, when we're talking about, you know, the dry bar comedy, Red Fox could never have worked at dry bar comedy. That guy was dirty. Holy shit. When they, you know, back in the day, they'd talk about working blue, and he worked purple. I mean, that dude was funny, but yeah, he was.
Yeah. I would love to see the outtakes from Sanford and Son, because how did he...
Oh, that would have been funny, right? Holy shit. Yeah. And
Sam Kinison,
yeah,
not for me. Hated him. I don't think anything he said was funny.
Just the way he said it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, well, and again, as a self-destructive asshole.
Yeah.
So I got
just
no
some
respect
people
for that.
rub you the wrong way, and
I get that.
I never enjoyed him.
Well, and he's one of those kind of guys that, you know, when he burst on the scene and you're listening to him and you're going, this guy's not in it for the long term. You know, he was just too angry and too messed up.
I mean, really, let's face it, the majority of musicians, comedians, authors, artists, we're all kind of broken people, you know. I mean, we all do what we do for really weird reasons, you know. So I think we're all right on that, could be right on that edge, you know.
Oh, I completely agree with that. the really heavy set guy who passed away recently. He was the game show host for a while.
Yeah, the high voice,
Yeah, God
blonde
dang it, I'm
hair.
blanking his name. I saw him early on, and I mean the guy was funny. He worked clean too, but he was funny. And then you learned about him. I mean, he was abused as a child, and his parents were alcoholics. I mean, just a terrible childhood. And yeah, Louis Anderson.
Louis Anderson, yeah.
Yeah, and he was funny, but him and Jonathan Winters. I mean, these were broken
Winters,
men,
yeah.
which made them funny, but yeah, they're in
there's
real
always
life,
something. There's always something dark that goes along with
often.
entertainer type people.
Well, Geraldo. I mean, I thought he was hilarious, but I mean, he went to rehab however many times, and finally died of a drug overdose. Like, dude, you got the world in your hand and can't get off the drugs.
Yeah, Andrew Dice Clay, not a big fan.
I didn't see that one.
He was, it was
Again, it was a shtick.
He was Andrew Dice Clay. He was a fad, basically.
Yeah, well, it was kind of a shtick, and it was a kind of a one-note joke, and it was outrageous at the time, but it didn't have any staying power, I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Indeed. Well, we've gone.
Well, it's like people you sometimes meet. They are enjoyable on the surface, but after a while, an intellectual person just needs a little something more.
Yeah, exactly.
When there's nothing more, it fizzles.
Yeah. Now, see, here's wisdom from the dog paw.
Gray hair is great. Ask any bullman.
Yeah, exactly. Well, again, in the land of eunuchs, the man with one testicle is king.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's perspective. I'm just going.
Oh, are people lost on? I don't see what everyone's doing. Yeah, that's it. We're on both my channel and Chris's channel.
Yeah,
I wish there was a way everyone could see everything. But
yeah,
maybe they'll figure that out one day.
One of these days they'll figure it out. Yeah, that's kind of one of the. So yeah, if you're on my channel, you're seeing all my comments or whatever, and but you're not seeing everybody on Dom's channel, and vice versa.
Correct. But we'll fill you in. Art Carney was hysterical. Jackie Gleason.
Funny guy,
hysterical.
Jackie Gleason. Yep. Again, Jackie Gleason was an interesting guy because many of the characteristics we talked in, he was a big physical comedian, and he was loud and kind of obnoxious and played an obnoxious character, but he was pretty cerebral too. He had his variety show.
But he managed to always, he was like the guy you love to hate kind of thing,
Yeah.
He was a big dope, boisterous, but you loved him for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's why you got Art Carney on this side and then Gleason on the other side. I mean, that was a great pairing.
Uh-huh.
They were fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What's his name? Zeus?
Yeah, Professor Zeus. Yeah. I've caught a couple shows he's on. He's had.
I think we've been trying to get through his agent to have him appear on.
I did
show,
say last week that Chad
so far
is working on it. No,
there's
nothing.
no interest.
Yeah, well, I don't. He probably doesn't take us seriously.
Yeah,
we're not pros like Clay and Chad.
Either we're not talking about the big topics of the day.
Exactly. I mean, what's a professor
going to do about?
Yeah, talk about food and
comedians and
exactly. Yeah. So anyway, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and this is exactly right. No, that's why my hair looks this way. My wife is an old hippie chick, and she's like, I mean, I've had my hair sport short and then actually longer than this, and we've been together for 34 years, and she's like, just don't cut your hair. Why would you? Like, okay.
Yeah, I've never had long hair. Never just drives me crazy. I finally cut
Even
mine.
in Steel Panther.
Tempered steel. No,
Tempered
I always
steel,
had short
right.
hair. Right, Jim?
Okay.
Maybe shoulder length was the
Yeah,
longest
Jay
it
was a
ever
little
was.
longer, but okay.
But no, never liked it.
Hey,
Too much time. I remember my friend Nick. I'd go to meet him at his house, and I'd have to wait outside like 20 minutes while he blew dry his fucking hair. I'm like, you're a guy. Let's go.
Yeah. I spend no time on it because
No, me neither. See, Jim knows. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. We'll be right down, guys.
yeah.
We smoke all the joints without him.
Well,
What's the
again, same thing. I don't spend any time on it. I trim it every once in a while. But yeah, I've had facial hair since I was 16, and
Yeah.
in our entire marriage, I shaved off my beard once, and just because I can grow it back right away. And my wife said, "You've got a face for a beard," and I was like seriously butthurt. And she goes, "Oh no, I didn't mean it that way." She said, "Look, I love your beard. I've always loved your beard. Yeah, grow it back. I like beards." Like, okay. And frankly, I prefer to have a beard too. So, yeah. Hey, I know some guys that have to shave twice a day.
Yeah, I used to have to shave every day when I didn't have a beard, and it was just too much work. A beard is less work.
Yeah.
I mean, once you
Yeah, you trim
and then
it
when I
once
go
a
get a
week, maybe.
haircut, fix the lines,
Yeah.
and but my kids always want me to shave. I'm like, no. When your mother leaves me, I'll shave. I usually say.
There you go. Yeah, I don't. I'll put up this comment. I literally have nothing to say to that. But I don't know how. I guess
You
the
get-
guys'
if-
beards are that
if
way.
you got food in there, then possibly.
Yeah.
No, mine, like, what drives me crazy when the mustache gets too long and the hair turns up and starts
Tickling your nose. Yeah,
Oh
no.
my God, drives me crazy.
Trimmers are out right away.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
That's
I
the
mean,
worst.
we're at an age we're fighting a battle with our nose hair anyway. We don't want hair going both directions.
We don't want a meeting, shaking hands.
There you go.
Dog Paw, you need to be up here with all these one-liners, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're in Texas. Just dye your beard red, and that'll be fine. you know. Well, or unless you're in Dallas. You're not in Austin.
He pole vault sometimes. He reminds me of Captain Lou Albano
Yeah.
with his beard.
Yeah. Exactly. It would be cool to do a biking braid. Yes, exactly. Welcome to old age, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm blessed that. Yeah, a lot of my buddies, they're growing lots of hair on their ears and in their nose and nowhere else.
Yeah, pretty thin.
Yeah.
Aw, she's always gonna love you, Kurt.
Yeah. You know, if she's been with you, it's not about the weed. I know my wife isn't with me for the money. I know that. And I didn't win the $1 billion last night. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, well, no, you are.
Yeah, I know someone that came my way.
There's no question. You know.
Got a new. Remember when
Yeah.
Papa Tom told us he had the big C,
Yes. Bastard.
and he meant COVID, and Chris and I have both had cancer.
Yeah, so we freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, we're like, and then we found out I meant COVID. I'm like, that is not the big fucking C, man. I mean, haven't you ever watched The Sopranos? I got the big C. So me, Chris, and Naya, we got together and we kind of made a will for him.
Yeah, we divided up his
This
stuff.
is if you do go. This is what we want.
Yep.
we divvied up all this shit.
Yeah, I get his Hammond B3. Yeah, because we didn't think he was going to be with us.
I mean,
having,
but like,
having the big
I'm-
C.
he is old enough to know. That is not the big C.
No, that was yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what he had. Oh God. That was not his best moment with us.
No, it was.
We
will
never let him forget it.
No, never. How could
Until
you?
the day he dies, which is probably next week.
Could be. Tom's age, yeah.
Yeah, because Tom's old.
He's really old. He's dirt old.
He really is. Anyway, what the hell else is going on?
I ain't got too much more, man.
No, I figured, and that's all right.
I haven't made 2 hours, man.
You're hanging in there better than I thought you would.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
yeah. Any sane person would think something else.
Yeah, well, that's what pole vault used to say that too when he was a lot younger. The ladies in the club, I got the big C.
Yeah, that's what happens when older people try to act cool.
Yeah,
think they are hip.
Yeah.
Vintage gear, we still have this.
Yeah. God, Lord knows. Yeah, we don't have enough trouble around here. Anyway,
I mean, Dog Paw's old when you look at his. When is that picture taking? Like 1972.
Yeah, this is that's a vintage gear, vintage. A young Dog Paw
and that shirt, like Seinfeld's puffy shirt.
Yeah, totally. That's a total '70s shirt right there, boys and girls. Check with your folks.
It's definitely playing in a progressive rock band. I would say.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. That is
right
in fact Stevie Nicks' shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Stevie Nicks traded the shirt for the LSD.
Do you?
Of course you do.
Well, you are a man. We don't just get rid of shirts that fit. That was fucking funny. Oh my God, it's hysterical.
Yeah, that's too good. See? That's why we love having you around, Dog Paw. You got stories.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Too funny. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do that guitar show. I think that's a good idea.
No, 100%. In case new people came in, we want to do a guitar porn show. Where we want you to send us pictures of your guitars, what kind of guitar it is. When we have enough, we're going to do a whole show about our guitars.
Yep. We're going to show pictures. We're going to tell stories, road stories if you have them.
People want to come on and talk about
how you
guitar.
bought it, what it means to you. Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Chris is even going to make new artwork called Guitar Porn.
That's absolutely.
For the
it'll have a little mustache on it. And,
be a special.
Yeah.
Tonight on a Happy Hour with Dom and Chris special.
Yeah, I missed the one. Yeah, here pole vault is like we said guitar show. He goes,
yeah.
See, he was interested. Yeah, well, send to your buddy Dom. Just email him to him, or go to my channel and you can email. We both have our emails.
Just email him, Jim. Email him to me or to Chris. But you're probably going to email.
Well, yeah. Now we can't. Hugh, you've got to pick 10 of your best. Otherwise, later we'll do just the Hugh Caldwell guitar show.
Yeah, we could do that. Oh, do a Dwight Bailey show. Dwight's got a lot of guitars.
Dwight's got. Well, yeah, we're going to have to. And Dwight comes to the program. I haven't seen him tonight, but Dwight is a frequent flyer on this show. And
well, that's it. We'll just wherever we go, let's just talk about it. Like if you go on Gmail, wherever you pop up. Just talk about it, and we won't have to do the show until we have enough pictures. But give us the details.
It's fun, yeah. I mean, because every guitar usually has a great story associated with it. I can tell multiple stories on every one of my guitars.
Yeah, like I told how I had a dream about killing people with my acoustic guitar.
That's pretty serious. I
bought
mean,
it.
I got good stories. That's a really good story.
Thank you.
You know.
You extend it? Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, again, if Justine is violin is her primary instrument, then yeah.
Absolutely.
And-
as long as we're still going to call it guitar porn, but
Yeah.
send a picture of a piano if you want. Your favorite instrument? Let's talk about it.
Sure. Well, porn is a broad category, right? There's
Yeah,
all kinds
exactly.
of kinks. So, yeah,
Exactly.
we'll get violins. And most violins, honestly, can have a pretty good story. If it's any kind of vintage violin or something, usually the violin stories are better than the guitar stories. So,
Sure.
yeah.
We just don't hear them as much.
Yeah,
Some of the
exactly.
violin.
That's serious inside baseball there, but those who get it, get it. And
Yeah,
those
so
who don't,
that's
maybe we'll
gonna be
find out the story.
That is going to be a future show, and I think, yeah, possibly next week we're gonna chat for a while, and then maybe turn it into an open mic.
Yeah,
Or
I think
Thursday Night Live.
I'm leaning towards why don't we do open mic next week? We'll just tell everybody right now.
Yeah.
You are a sick, sick man, Warren. Satan, get behind
Yeah.
thee. That's just wrong. There's some things that are just too. There you go. Yeah, see, Clay will come and play.
Clay will always come and play.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Oh, he's going to send us pictures of his $134 guitar. That sounds like a $10,000 guitar the way he plays it. So, yes.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, You can spend a lot of money on a guitar that's not great, and you can spend a little bit of money on a guitar that is great, but mostly, not always, but mostly you get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Michael songs, that's how it all started for you. I did an open mic on my Tuesday show one time. That's when he started coming around. Oh, my God, and he just never stops now.
Yeah, it's like the thing that wouldn't leave. Thank
I know.
goodness. Yeah. You know what? I can assure you, Epi, no, you don't.
Yeah,
You don't have to
exactly.
see that video. It's, yeah. Some things shouldn't be filmed.
Mm-hmm. What is next Thursday? Yeah, I think I'm around.
It's the
I think I'm around.
13th.
Yeah.
No, it's 12th.
That's why I'm trying to get the surgery scheduled fast. Actually, I'm going to do that tomorrow because I don't
Yeah.
want to feel better, go to work for like a week or two, and then have to take more time off. So
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
keep working from home until then.
Yeah. Indeed.
So I'm feeling like this is a good point to wrap it up there, Mr. Chris.
I
What are your
agree.
thoughts?
I think we've had a fun show. We've
think
covered
so.
a lot of topics, and it was great to have you here.
It was great to
for
be
the
back. I
entire
really miss
show.
all you guys. I really do.
Well,
I
that's
had
the thing.
it's
I
like
get
no
it.
one to talk to. It was like I was surprised at how much I talked to people from YouTube in the community that I didn't have too many. I mean, Clay was always checking in. Chris was checking in every day. Michael Songs and Maria were checking in. Falkland Blueser wrote me, and Mr. Smith, and talked to Chad a bunch of times. So that really, those were like the highlights of my last couple of weeks. So it's really, really cool to see everyone again.
Well, yeah,
So
it really is a nice community, and it's totally right. I mean, Ron came back on tonight and said, because he'd missed live streaming, and
Yeah, we missed Ron.
when I was in Steamboat on my anniversary, I'd been hiking all day. I was drinking whiskey and everything. And Clay's show, the Sunday show was on. And I can't remember if it was, maybe it was the Alien one. Anyway, but I got on the show, or I got on the stream late, and I'm just catching the tail end of it. And I'm just missing being around. So I'm in bed, and it's dead dark. And so I go on for the after chat. and hang out with those guys for an
Right,
hour.
that's what
and a
you
half.
tell me. Right, yeah.
You know, so, I mean, they couldn't see me or anything. I mean, do you think pole vault work on that? I was dead nothing. I mean, they could hear my voice, but I just wanted to hang out with my friends because, you know, I'd missed them. So totally get it.
Yeah, Rhodey, and yeah, everything's seeming to line up. So I have a path and an end. So
Yeah.
I think we're doing good now.
Yep, indeed. So, so next week, plan on a little chat. I've actually got a segment which I was going to do tonight in case Don couldn't go, and we'll probably discuss video production. I don't know if you guys have been watching Jade's channel, but I'm fascinated by video production, and there's a number of ways to skin that cat. And you know, so one of these shows, I will probably come on and just walk people through some of my process on how I do.
You know,
videos.
I could throw this into the mix. To always have a variety of things to do. I was thinking about doing it on my show, and even if we did it on a Tuesday, we could both do it together. Of a show called I'm calling it singers, songwriters. No, stories. No, what the hell's the name? Songwriters, stories, and songs. Where we would like the people in the community, if you write songs and record songs or play songs live, to send us like a private list, an unlisted list of 5 of them. We'd want the lyrics. Give me and Chris a chance to really listen to it, go over it, and then and then you be a guest on the show, and we're gonna just really talk about the song, why you wrote the song, how you wrote the song, what did you do, you know, the whole kit and caboodle on a few of your songs. So we could do that here too, or we could both do that on my channel, wherever it fits. I think that's playing music. That's the thing I love most. I love. Why did you write that? What were you thinking about? You know, I love all that shit.
Yeah.
So
and I think
that
the
would be a lot
community
of fun.
appreciates that too. So yeah, maybe on a
And
Tuesday
exactly,
when you're not
and
feeling
it's
like
something
playing.
that you know, like on my Tuesday show, when I always had a guest playing live with me, you know, 75% of the people we hang out with don't actually play live, and I don't want them to be excluded. We all make music, so
You're right.
that way we can anybody, if you're making music, and we really do a deep dive and geek out over
Exactly.
it.
What you're our kind of people. And oops, no, I missed it. Damn it. The chat is moving on me. There we go. That was going to be the thrust of my stuff, because Epi, I have very high standards for video production, and I'm cheap. So
It's very cheap.
I figured out a lot of ways to get pretty good videos and not spend any money. So
I mean, look at
I got you, boy.
Look at what the hell's the cover song we did, the country song. Me, you, and Naya.
Yeah.
Chris did the whole video for that with 3 different people, and one of them in a different country, and it looks pretty much like
And
Naya and I are singing
$0
together.
and 0 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do make good videos, sir.
And you're right. You know, now some of the gear you can spend a lot of money on, but yeah, I don't spend money on the gear. So anyway, yeah, and again, pole vault, yeah, this you don't have to spend any money to make really good videos. Would be the thrust of that. But I think we all agree that you need some visual that's interesting for your music, if you want people to, you know, play it more than
Right. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so that's kind of some future stuff coming up.
Yeah, things in the hopper.
Things in the hopper.
Can you play
especially
anything
so
of mine?
you know.
Copyright. I don't know if I can play my guitar with my nose, Warren. But I will try. I can't play shit right now, so I did play today. Like I said, I did play today a little bit.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
it's not time yet.
All right. Well,
All right, folks.
I think
we are going to say
I think
goodnight.
we're done.
I think we are done. We've said it, all that could be said. We're all leaving, and I'm still going to snack, but I'm not going to snack because of this show, which is usually what happens. I leave this show, and I'm just give me meat. I think there's leftover steak. No, there's never leftover steak. Let's be serious. They throw out everything else.
Hey, thanks for that, Clay. I suck at promo, but luckily we've got great people like Conspiracy Music who promo all of us, and Clay Freeman who does a great job of letting the community know what we're up to.
Chad Freeman. Chad Freeman.
What did I say?
You just morphed them into Clay Freeman. Morphed it into one person.
I'm tired.
Yeah, apparently.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, Chad Freeman and Clay, Conspiracy Music. Sorry. Anyway, with that...
and Preston did show up. Hey, Preston.
Yeah, Preston's been here for a little while.
Yeah.
And there you go. Moo. Yeah. Well, that's what I made Salisbury steak for us tonight. Tried a new recipe, and it was
I love
delicious.
Salisbury steak. I usually get it on the Hero. Just put it on the sandwich with the gravy.
Yeah, no, we just had it plain.
And you just eat it fast so it doesn't
traditional Salisbury steak, and it was tasty.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Indeed.
All kinds of meat. All right, now I'm going to go find something.
Yeah, I'm not going to go find food. Hey, folks, thanks for being here. You guys
Everyone
make
take
the
care.
show.
See you soon. Chris, as always.
See you on Clay's
Pleasure
show
talking to
tomorrow.
you.
And
I will try to be around.
And we'll see everybody next week. Be well, everybody.
All right, thanks all. Take care. Good night.
Bye.